This is a mock interview conducted by ForumIAS Academy at New Delhi. The interview panel includes eminent professors, retired bureaucrats, and other luminaries. The objective of the program is to acquaint the candidate with the format and expectations of the personality test conducted by UPSC.
Come. Come. Please sit down.
Thank you.
So how are you today, Shubham?
I'm doing good, ma'am.
Have you been reading the papers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So what is it on NRC, NPR and CA that is hitting the headlines?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the CA law was enacted, but the rules were not notified. So the government is, it is being reported that the government is planning to bring out the rules in the next 1 month. So because of that, that is in the news, ma'am.
So what do you anticipate happening once the rules come out?
Ma'am, once the rules come out, the citizenship to the minorities that are being prosecuted in the neighboring Bangladesh, Afghanistan and Pakistan.
That's the act. That's the act itself.
And the Citizenship Amendment Act is there.
I'm asking you, what do you anticipate happening in the country when the rules come out? Anything happening, or it will be fine, all quiet and calm?
There could be some protests, like we saw the last time. There could be some, especially the minority groups can lead some protests, like we saw in the Shaheen Bagh. So these can be some political fallouts.
And is there any connection with the NRC and NPR of this?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the connection?
So first of all, a list will be made of NPR is National Population Register, and another one is NRC is National Registry of Citizens. So those who have been here, I don't remember the period, for a long time, the list will be made, and those who do not have a valid papers.
What is the difference between the two things? I have two things. One is enough.
Ma'am, population is whoever is residing in the boundaries of the country, and citizenship is those who are citizens of India. They could be outside also, within country also. So once that list is made, some people will be, so the idea is that some people might be left out because they don't have the proper document. The anticipation is that those which belong to the minority, a religious minority in the Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Pakistan, would easily get the citizenship in 6 years.
Today, if I have been living here, say, since 1982, and I have an election card, voter card, will I be impacted at all by this or not?
Ma'am, I'm not aware with what is the cutoff date for it, so I'll have to read that, ma'am.
And if I have an Aadhaar card today, and I've been living in India since 1971, so will I be covered or will I not be covered? Aadhaar card, voter card. What is the difference between the two, by the way?
Ma'am, Aadhaar card is just a proof of identity. It is not a proof of domicile. And voter card is only those who have the who are
a resident versus a citizen.
Resident versus a citizen, yes, ma'am.
So it is actually that you are living here right now.
Yes, ma'am. But voter card is those citizens having the voting rights. So it is slightly on a higher footing.
So you are Hindi literature.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me the difference between Chayavad and Rahasyavad.
Ma'am, Rahasyavad is in which there is some element of spirituality there. For example, the way Kabir writes, Tulsi writes. So
Kabir and Tulsi are Rahasyavadis. They come in the Rahasyavadi Kavis?
Yes, ma'am. Their poetry has some elements of...
जो रहस्यवादी छायावादी poets कहते हैं, तो Kabir and Tulsidas come among them.
Ma'am, Chayavadi is a Andolan which happened in 1936. So in that period, ma'am, they were not there. But Rahasyavadi, ma'am, is a generic term for those who see spirituality and express that in their poem. So in that sense, Rabindranath Tagore is also a Chayavadi Kavi. So
Chayavadi, Rahasyavadi, you are.
I'm Rahasyavadi. And Chayavadi is more of the people who have nature in their poem, the feeling, the love. And so in that, some aspect of Rahasyavad comes in, but that is not the main flavor of Chayavad, ma'am.
So normally you refer to Tulsidas ji and Kabir Das ji as Bhaktikal, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't refer to them as Chayavad or Rahasyavad, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there is something we call sadhanatmak rahasyavad and bhavanatmak rahasyavad.
So who would you call as Chayavadi poets?
Ma'am, Jaishankar Prasad, Mahadevi Verma, Smitra Nandan Pant, Suryakant Tripathi Nirala.
So you expressed fondness for Mahadevi Verma the other day, didn't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you cite something from her?
No, ma'am.
Okay, doesn't matter. It's okay.
I can cite, ma'am.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So now you know the Panch Kedars?
Yes, ma'am.
What are they?
Yes, ma'am. They are the different part of Shiva are worshipped in the.
What is the story?
And the story is that when Pandavas were going to meet Lord Shiva, he didn't want to meet them and took a shape of a bull. And when the bull was going within the ground, Bhim held the bull, and different part.
And you know
emerged.
which part is which Panch Kedar now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. Now tell me, how will safety issues in Jammu Kashmir impact Bihar?
Ma'am, safety issues in Jammu Kashmir impact Bihar because first of all, the people of Bihar living in Jammu Kashmir, especially the street vendors, have been attacked there. So one is that, and there were cases when the street vendors were killed also by some elements. And another is another is the economic aspect. For example, if there is a lot of flow of fund from the rest of the country to the Jammu and Kashmir because it has special needs, and to tackle the economic issues, also the security is being diverted. So in that, as a whole, ma'am, a lot of resources being put there. So others might face a crunch of resources.
Okay, very good. Now, there was an IT Act and there was an amendment called Jan Vishwas Amendment. What does it provide? And related to the Data Protection Act, where is the linkage? First of all, tell me the IT Act, then the Data Protection Act. And how do you see them?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, IT Act 2000 was enacted, and it has, at that time, IT was only evolving, and the privacy and security concerns were not holistically dealt in that legislation. So as, ma'am, the effect of social media and loss of privacy become a major issue, a new law was enacted, which is on the lines of what EU did in the GDPR Act, which is the Data Protection Act. And another question, Jan Vishwas Bill.
Yeah, I want the terms, the clauses in that, in both of them. Critical clauses.
Yes, ma'am.
Or the ones which have aroused people to pros and cons.
Yes, ma'am. The pros is the major criticism of that act was that the Data Protection Authority, Data Protection Board that was formed within that act, a lot of exemptions were granted, and a lot of government bodies could be outside its purview.
So it was a dilution of the RTI Act.
Yes, ma'am. Dilution of the RTI Act was also issued, ma'am. And the good thing was, ma'am, a lot of right was given to those who use it, and if there is a loss of privacy in those matters, compensation can be claimed by reaching the board. Also, a lot of policies on the data localization was introduced in that, and also the critical and sensitive data, if it goes outside the boundary, there must be a legislative framework to do the same. It cannot be outflowing without regulations.
Okay, very good. Tell me, last question. Do you know the difference between data exclusivity and data protection? First, tell me, in which context are these two terms used?
Data exclusivity and data protection.
They're used together in which context?
Data protection, I know. Exclusivity, I'm not sure.
What is data protection in this context?
Ma'am, data protection is to ensure that the private and sensitive data of a...
Thank you. Mr. Verma.
Okay, Shubham.
Yes, sir.
So you are from Bihar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Hindi literature.
Yes, sir.
लिटरेचर और लैंग्वेज में क्या फर्क है?
भाषा और साहित्य। सर, जो भाषा है वो वार्तालाप का एक माध्यम है, अपने विचारों को व्यक्त करने का एक माध्यम है। जो साहित्य है उसका उच्च स्तर है, सर। तो जो भाषा है दरअसल वो वार्ता का माध्यम है। अगर हम अपने विचार या हम अपने भाव को व्यक्त करना चाहते हैं तो भाषा से करेंगे। साहित्य उसके ऊपर उठी हुई, उसमें संवेदना, शिल्प, इनका भी महत्व होता है, सर। जो सामान्य जब हम वार्ता करते
और
हैं
एक लोक भाषा होता है।
यस सर।
हाँ, मुजफ्फरपुर में कौन सी लैंग्वेज बोलते हो? लोकल?
सर वज्जी का बोलते हैं सर।
तो उसमें और भाषा में क्या फ़र्क है?
यस सर। सर इनको बोली भी कह सकते हैं लोक भाषाओं को। तो जो भाषा के डायलेक्ट्स होते हैं सर, क्योंकि एक भाषा जैसे जैसे स्थान परिवर्तित होता है सर, भाषा का स्वरूप थोड़ा थोड़ा बदलता चला जाता है। इसलिए कहते हैं कि 4 कोस पे पानी बदले 8 कोस पे पानी। तो जो थोड़ा थोड़ा अंतर आता है पर वो पूरी तरीके से उससे अलग नहीं हुआ, तो उसको सर डायलेक्ट या लोक भाषा कह देते हैं सर।
यार तुमने ऑप्शनल लिटरेचर ऑफ हिंदी लैंग्वेज लिखा है और मीडियम ऑफ इंटरव्यू इंग्लिश दिया है, ये कंट्राडिक्शन नहीं है? हिंदी भाषा का अपमान नहीं है?
सर मैं हिंदी और अंग्रेजी दोनों में ही सहज हूँ। चूँकि यूपीएससी ने मुझे ऑप्शन दिया था एक चुनने का, तो सर मैंने बस उसी को एक्सरसाइज किया।
थोड़ा कंट्राडिक्शन नहीं लग रहा?
सर कंट्राडिक्शन एक तरीके से कह भी सकते हैं, पर सर भारत की जो राजभाषा हिंदी अंग्रेजी दोनों हैं, तो मैं दोनों में अपने आप को सहज महसूस करता हूँ सर। दोनों में से किसी में भी।
बिहार का 3 पॉजिटिव साइड बताओ आज की तारीख में, बिहार एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का।
एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का
गवर्नमेंट या एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन?
सर बिहार में वेलफेयर मेजर्स काफ़ी बढ़ गए हैं। पहला जैसे कि जीविका योजना, हर घर जल, और ये सर एक अच्छी बात है। दूसरा है कि जो स्त्रियों के प्रति सरकार ध्यान दे रही है, उनको रिजर्वेशन देना। जो अभी सर शराबबंदी हुई, वो भी जो घरेलू हिंसा है उसको रोकने के लिए किया गया। सर तीसरी बात है कि जो बिहार में लॉ एंड ऑर्डर है वो पहले से बहुत बेहतर है। और सर ये तीसरी,
लॉ एंड ऑर्डर बहुत बेहतर है। कोई इसका ऑफिशियल ऑथेंटिकेशन?
सॉरी सर, मैं ग्राउंड एविडेंस के इस पे बोल रहा था, मुझे देखना पड़ेगा।
नेशनल क्राइम ब्यूरो का रिपोर्ट देखे हो?
सर देखे हैं सर, पर अभी याद नहीं आ रहा सर।
इतना माइग्रेशन क्यों है बिहार के लोगों का?
सर माइग्रेशन इसलिए है क्योंकि जो जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ है सर बिहार में कम है। कोई मेजर इंडस्ट्री या फिर आईटी हब ये सब नहीं है।
नहीं तो माइग्रेशन नेगेटिव चीज़ है क्या? इंडिया से लोग विदेश जा रहा है तो नेगेटिव है?
सर निगेटिव चीज़ नहीं है, पर अगर एक तरीके से यूनि डायरेक्शनल माइग्रेशन होगा तो बाकी जगह रिसोर्स क्रंच आएगा सर, उनके ऊपर एक्स्ट्रा प्रेशर पड़ेगा।
नहीं तो इंडिया से जो लोग फॉरेन जा रहे हैं वो भी यूनि डायरेक्शनल, फॉरेन वाले थोड़ी तुम्हारे यहाँ आ रहे हैं।
यस सर, वो तो हो रहा है सर, पर इस यूनि डायरेक्शनल फ्लो से सर जो इसको ब्रेन ड्रेन कहते हैं, जो हमारे यहाँ के इंटेलेक्चुअल लोग हैं या फिर जो बुद्धिजीवी है सर, वो भारत से बाहर जा रहे हैं। बिहार के केस में भी यही हो रहा है। जो लोग एक स्तर से ऊपर पढ़ लेते हैं या उनमें एक स्तर के ऊपर का कौशल आ जाता है, वो समझते हैं कि जो मेरे कौशल्य या फिर शिक्षा का मूल्य है वो शायद मेरे राज्य में नहीं मिल पाएगा, तो सर वो बाहर जाके जैसे बेंगलोर में काम करते हैं या हैदराबाद में काम करते हैं।
पॉजिटिव अबाउट माइग्रेशन?
सर पॉजिटिव अबाउट माइग्रेशन ये है सर कि जैसे कि जो लोग बाहर जाते हैं, अगर दुबई जा रहे हैं या फिर गल्फ कंट्रीज में जा रहे हैं, वहाँ से रेमिटेंसेस भेजते हैं।
आई हैव आस्क्ड यू इन इंग्लिश।
Okay, sir. Sir, those who go outside, for example, in the Gulf countries or in the US, UK, first of all, they send remittances, which balances our current account deficit. And other than that, sir, they also bring new technologies, new perspectives.
Have you heard of Article 32?
Yes, sir.
क्या है?
Sir, Article 32 is the right to constitutional remedy.
हिंदी में क्या बोलेंगे?
देखना पड़ेगा सर, क्या बोलते हैं?
संवैधानिक उपचारों का अधिकार।
यस सर।
चलिए गो अहेड। हाँ
सर, जैसे कि पार्ट 3 में बहुत सारे राइट्स दिए गए हैं इंडिविजुअल को।
ओके, हैव यू हर्ड ऑफ रिट्स?
यस सर।
बताओ कितने रिट्स?
5 होते हैं।
बताओ।
मैंडेमस,
पहला,
सर्टियोरारी, प्रोहिबिशन, कोवरेंटो,
सबसे आसान वाला ही छोड़ दिया।
हेबियस कॉर्पस।
क्या है हेबियस कॉर्पस? क्या है
सर? हेबियस कॉर्पस इज ब्रिंग द बॉडी। अगर कोई एजेंसी किसी को अरेस्ट करती है या किसी को डिटेन करती है, तो जो कोर्ट है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल कोर्ट, वो रिट पास कर सकते हैं सर कि इस व्यक्ति को मेरे सामने प्रस्तुत किया जाए इतने समय सीमा में।
तो पुलिस इसको मिसयूज कैसे करती है? पुलिस का रिकॉर्ड बहुत खराब है।
यस सर।
थर्ड वर्ल्ड में, अगर इफ यू लुक एट इट फ्रॉम पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ ह्यूमन राइट्स।
यस।
एनीवे, आर्टिकल 39
सर, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल एंड एजुकेशनल राइट्स।
तो कल्चरल एंड एजुकेशनल राइट है या एजुकेशनल एंड कल्चरल राइट? करेक्ट क्या है?
सर देखना पड़ेगा सर मुझे एक बार, एग्जैक्ट वर्डिंग क्या है।
इट इज बेटा कल्चरल एंड एजुकेशनल राइट्स। ओके,
थैंक यू सर।
चलो लास्ट क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम माय साइड। हाँ, Have you done amendments?
Yes, sir.
42 amendments के features बताओ.
सर 42nd अमेंडमेंट में जो मेनली जुडिशरी और एग्जीक्यूटिव का टसल था उसको एड्रेस करने का प्रयास किया गया था, और जो आर्टिकल और जुडिशियल रिव्यू के पावर को सीमित कर दिया गया था, और कहा गया था कि जो जुडिशरी है वो अमेंडमेंट्स को रिव्यू नहीं कर सकती। एक तो ये था सर। दूसरा था कि 323 आर्टिकल में सर ट्रिब्यूनल का कॉन्सेप्ट भी लाया गया था, और सर पार्लियामेंट के जो अमेंडमेंट के पावर्स हैं उसको सुप्रीम बताया गया था कि पार्लियामेंट किसी भी पार्ट को अमेंड कर सकती है।
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Hello, Shubham.
हेलो सर।
Relax a little bit.
थैंक यू सर।
So, you like computer programming.
यस
Can you tell me what is machine learning?
यस सर। सर मशीन लर्निंग इज अ पार्ट ऑफ आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इन विच वी ट्रेन दी machine level models. We give some inputs, and via some neural networks the computer learns the features, and depending on the input set and output set it tries to create some correlation. So once that training is done, sir, we can feed the new input and get the result.
What is neural network that you used? The term neural network?
Yes, sir. Just like our brain works via the network of neurons, there also we create various layers, and each layers has some I think points which connect to each other via a coefficient. So this entire model is trained on the basis of input, and this model that we create, that processing level part, that is called neural network, sir.
Okay, so you are saying that there can be systems that can be trained in a particular manner. So that's how these large language models have worked, and we have got OpenAI, ChatGPT, stuff like that. So do you think human emotions can also be taught in this manner? Maybe not now, at some stage in future.
Sir, as of now, emotion training, I'm not aware if there is any experiment for that, and the normal generative AI that we see do not really try to create the emotion level models, and it is right now related to knowledge level models. So it can be done in the future, sir, but as of now it is not.
What do you think is the biggest challenge in teaching human emotions to a machine?
Sir, one is a human emotion is very subjective. It varies one person to another person. Second, we ourselves don't know how the emotions work. So unless we don't know how it works, we cannot really train machine. And
so we just need to have an algorithm first. Say
Yes.
what are our emotions. So if we can identify through it an algorithm, probably then we can teach the machine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is and do you think it is ever possible we'll be able to reach that advanced level? There are so many sci-fi movies that you see, Matrix, for example. They are sentient machines. Do you think that is possible?
So as of now, the models that I have seen, I have not come across any models which try to even go in that direction of emotion. So I am not fully aware. So it could be done in the
There
future.
was a debate regarding between Elon Musk and Zuckerberg. Was it about this issue only, or was it something different?
I'll have to check it, sir. I'm not aware.
Okay, all right. Can you tell me what has been the biggest shortcoming or biggest negative impact of digitization? Say, for example, in payment sphere, we are moving online. Lots of payments have moved online. We have UPI, etc. Has there been any big drawback of all this development?
So the major drawback is the cyber security aspect.
Yes, cyber frauds are happening, and lots of people, they are unaware that and why do you think that our law enforcement agencies, they know that this kind of fraud is happening, although they are trying to create awareness, but still they are if I say that the catching hold of the culprits and bringing them to justice, that ratio is very poor at of this stage. What are the reasons why the prosecution is so poor?
So there are few reasons for that. One is the attacks that happen are not always within the sovereign boundaries of the country.
Yes.
And
within jurisdictions also. Fraud is happening in Delhi, and maybe culprit is sitting maybe in Jharkhand or Odisha or somewhere else.
Yes, sir. Sir, in that case, sir.
So what is the solution here?
Yes, sir. So first solution is that our cyber security aspects are being retrofitted. We have some system and then we are now trying to put these in the place. So from the design stage itself, we need that. Second is we need a comprehensive cyber security policy. Third, we need
we have a policy already. Cyber security policy, do we have?
Yes, sir, but it was 2013, which is 10 years old, and the things have evolved quite a lot. So we need to update that.
I didn't understand. What do you mean by retrofitting? Retrofitting?
Yes, sir. So retrofitting is like for this building is there, and now I come and.
No, I'm talking specifically in this context. You use that
yes,
word
yes,
for cyber solutions.
Yes, sir. So in that context, sir, for example, we have Aadhaar stack, we have India stack, we have various apps. So when we made those apps, the input-output functions, the APIs, when they were actually coded, the cyber security aspects were not handled properly at that point.
So you are talking about design stage, design aspect of it. Do you think that we should create a central agency for this? Maybe, pool in resources from all the state police services, like NIA, for example. We should have a specialized agency for cyber crimes.
Yes, sir. It is needed, sir. And in the cyber security strategy document released, has been said that we need such agency, and we also need the cyber security cadre. For example, we have Indian engineering services.
Has there been anything been done in this regard? Has any initiative been taken?
Sir, it is being mooted, but I'm not aware if any development is there.
Okay, so you worked in Texas Instruments. What kind of instruments they make, or what is this company about?
So this is a semiconductor company. It creates integrated circuit.
IC circuits.
Yes, sir. It works. Yes.
Okay, if I were to ask you, so India, we have progressed a lot in services, but if you talk about IT services in particular, we are more into process. We are process oriented. Say Infosys or TCS, they are good at making algorithms or making service algorithms or service product. But in product, say for example, we are lacking OpenAI, ChatGPT, Google, Apple products. Why are we lacking so much in developing new products? We are good at process engineering. We are very bad at product engineering. Do you think this is a correct assessment?
It is a correct assessment, sir.
What is the reason?
Sir, the biggest reason is the appetite for risk and the government support in this direction.
Process engineering products don't require any risk?
But those, sir, who are developing it join some multinationals, and then within that framework...
Infosys must have taken some risk at some stage, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, but now that it is a behemoth company, for example, for some critical and what we call disruptive innovation, sir, usually comes from the startups. For example, OpenAI, just a bunch of coders working together. So we need to facilitate that kind of environment of risk-taking, proper financing, funding, and if the company happens to fail, there should be some safety net to ensure that at least the criminality part is not there. So these are some aspects.
Okay. Thank you, Shubham. That's all from my side.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please step out, Shubham. We'll just call you back. Huh?
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
In your own field, where the panel member asked you, I think you did pretty all right. My data protection in IT, I do think that you could go a little more into it and prepare on that a bit. Because when you prepare, then you are much better off.
Yes,
I left you lightly on the trekking in the Himalayas with just the Panch Kedars, but you can be asked other things also. I hope you prepared those.
yes, ma'am.